Hello friends. Today we are going to talk about how to create an AWS RDS proxy for an AWS RDS PostgreSQL instance. So why would need an RDS proxy for an RDS Postgre instance? So when we create a Postgre instance in RDS, for the number of connections, there are limits. So according to the plan that we choose, it will be different. I think for the DB T3 micro, it is more or less around 100 concurrent connections. So chances are that we'll we will be requiring more connections than that, but in order to achieve that, normally we would have to upgrade the plan of the RDS Postgres. So there is a possibility not to do that with 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 the AWS RDS proxy. So applying RDS proxy to the AWS RDS instance will will allow to have more connections than the actual allowed connections for the AWS RDS Postgres. So let's see how to set this up for the Postgres SQL. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in my AWS console and I am in the security groups page. So I do not have any other security group other than the default security group. So before we start, this is about to create how to create the proxy for a default VPC. It is possible to create VPCs for other than non-default VPCs, but I'm not going to discuss about that. Maybe in a future video I'll discuss about that. So the default VPC, the minimum requirement, network requirement for the RDS proxy to be created is to have at least two subnets in two different availability zones. So the default VPC will have that already. So I'm not going to go to the VPC section. I'm just going to create the security groups for the default VPC, that is this one. So first of all, we will explain how the RDS is going to get configured. So the RDS will be only privately accessible. So it means it will not be publicly accessible. So we will only access the RDS through an EC2 instance. So for that EC2 instance, we need to have a security group. So we're going to create that very security group called EC2 SG and allow SSH to EC2, and we are going to outbound rules should be we should be allowing all, and we first of all we just need to SSH into the EC2 instance. So I'm going to provide anyway for now SSH. I'm going to create the security group. Fine. So I've created the security group for the EC2 instance. Let's now go ahead and create the EC2 instance which we will use to connect to the AWS RDS instance as well as RDS proxy. So we'll just go ahead and create the launch instance. Click the launch instance. So we'll name this as Bastion host, because this is what the general term for these kind of instances, where the only the only role of the instance is to be able to connect to the RDS proxy or instance, and if we can have connection to this host through SSH, then we can have connection to the RDS. So most of the GUI client supports SSH tunneling for the Postgres. So that's how we will do it, but we are not going to do that now. But we just need to set up the RDS proxy, and we will do that inside this very Bastion host. So we're gonna click choose Ubuntu. Latest version is fine. TB T2 micro is the instance type, which is free tier eligible. I already have a key pair, so I'm going to choose my general key pair. Now the security group, we should be selecting the security group that we just created, EC2 security group, and I'm going to create the instance by clicking the launch instance. So now the instance has been created. Let's wait for it to be ready, but before that we should be going to the security groups, and we should be creating a security group for the RDS. Now the next step we are going to do is we have to create the RDS instance. So first of all, in order to create the proxy, we should be able to connect the RDS instance from the EC2 instance. So we are going to create a security group. We are going to call it RDS and inbound rule. That means it should only allow connections from the EC2 instance. So how does it mean? We will choose Postgres because we want to connect to the Postgres. So the Postgres port should be opened in order to connect from the EC2 instance to the RDS. So we easily can copy the IP of the EC2 instance that we have created. If we click EC2, we have the IP. We could do this, but we could just have this like custom IP, but sorry, we cannot have the IP. It should be a CIDR, like this, but this is okay. But the easier way to do is to allow and the security group of the EC2 instance. So we will say EC2. So here we have the security group. So it is possible to select security group in the inbound rules of another security group. So here we are selecting the EC2 security group. That means, what does that mean? So that means allow the EC2 instances from which has the security group EC2 SG. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, so if we do this and if we attach this very security group to the RDS while creating, when we log into this instance, and then we will be able to connect to the RDS because of this very rule. So we're going to create the security group. So this has been created, fine, and we can, so the instance is up and running, so we can SSH into it. SSH Ubuntu, because it's Ubuntu, the username is Ubuntu, IP-I, I choose the general key. I have it in this very folder. It's asking, are you sure to continue or not? I'll say yes. All good. So I am inside the EC2 Ubuntu instance. So we should be able to connect to the RDS instance. So PostgreSQL has this CLI utility called PSQL. So in order to install that, we have to run sudo apt-get install PostgreSQL client. I'll say yes. So once this is completed, I can say that PSQL -- version. So the tool that we want to connect to the RDS instance is now available. We can just have help, and this is how we connect. So we should be connecting PSQL -h. H is for the host name. This will be the RDS host name. Then -u Postgres, if we have created the user as Postgres. if we press enter, then it will ask for the password, then we have to provide the password, then we effectively connect to the RDS instance. So this is how, so this is how we're going to do it. Right, so so let's go ahead and create the RDS instance. RDS I'm going to create an RDS instance. So one of the minimum requirements for the RDS proxy to operate, excuse me, is it should be having a standby instance. So we're going to choose Postgres. We're going to choose production, because this is important. So single DB instance will not work. It should be a multi AC DB instance. So we clicked on that, and database one is fine. That's the name of the identifier, and master username is Postgres by default. We're not going to change that. Auto generate password. Fine. Auto generate password. You know what, we will choose a password. So we'll choose this password, master password. Confirm master password. And burstable class. This is very important. If you use the standard, it's going to cost you a lot of money, so please make sure you choose the DB3T3 micro. Storage, I'm gonna try with 20 GB is fine. 20 GB is the minimum, and we're not really gonna store that much of data. So that's that. And then we don't want to connect to an EC2 instance. We do want to connect to an EC2 instance, but we're gonna do the we're gonna do that ourselves. And then subnet group, this is fine, we don't have to touch that. We are not going to give the public access because we want to have this very secure. And what about the security group? We are not going to choose the default security group, which will allow all the communication inbound and outbound. So we are going to choose the RDS security group that we created just before this. And what else? Additional configurations. Port should be the same, 5432. Password authentication, that is fine. I don't need this, I guess. So it is going to cost 43.0 USD for the Mumbai region. Because it has a standby instance, it's going to cost the same money as the DB instance, and storage is going to cost 5.24 USD. So let's go ahead and create the DB instance in RDS, the Postgres one. So I don't need, I already have the password. So anyway, it's the same password. It's the same password. All right, so I'm just going to pause the video a bit because this creation of database is going to take maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So when we are back, then we are going to connect to the RDS instance, and we have to run some commands. In order to connect to the proxy, we have to create a user so that the proxy can use that user to log in to the RDS instance. So I'm just going to pause this video for now. So coming back after creating the RDS Postgres SQL DB instance, here it is. Its status is available. So now we can try connecting to this RDS instance. So for that, I have this terminal opened to log into the EC2 instance that we have created previously. So now that we are inside the EC2 instance, let's go ahead and connect the Postgre RDS instance that we have created. So for that we have to click this instance, and it will lead us to the RDS details page, and here it is the endpoint. So this very RDS instance has the security group of RDS, so which in turn has the inbound rules set from, if we edit this, this is the security group of the EC2 instance. So this means that any request from the EC2 instance will be allowed to the RDS. So I'm copying this, and now I'm going to use that here. It should be -h to provide the host. Then it is the username is PostgreSQL. Sorry, it's Postgres. And then the password is this one. Wait a minute. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, it is -U for the user, and we are pasting the password here. Yeah, so now we are actually connected to the Postgres DB instance. We can do in /l, which will list the databases. So these are the databases that is already existing in the Postgres SQL instance. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to create a database, and we are going to create a user for proxy, and then we are going to grant the privileges for that very database to the user that we created. So let's go ahead and run all these. Yeah, so now if we do a /l, it will show that very database. Yes, it is. Now we are going to create a user so that we could use this user to connect from the RDS proxy to this database, to this DB instance. So we are going to use this password. In this case, we are using the same password for the PostgreSQL, Postgres user, and also this proxy user. So yeah, you would obviously change. You will obviously have a different password for this proxy user, but I'm going to use the same here. So next thing is we are going to grant all the privileges on the database SchoolDB to the proxy Postgre user. Yeah, right. So this whichever user we have to create through a proxy that we have created now. Now we can now that I have exited from the Postgre client command prompt, now let us go ahead and do the required things to set up a proxy, and we will start with creating a secrets manager. So in the AWS we have to go to the secrets manager. So we don't have secret, so we'll create a secret. It is for the credentials for Amazon RDS database. So the username, because we have created a user and a password, this has to be the same user, and the password has to be this. the encryption key, we are going to stick with the default, that is AWS Secrets Manager, and we are going to choose this very database so that this username and password could be used to connect to this database. Next will be test my app / Postgres. Yeah, it could be anything. And next, I'm going to leave the default values and not worry about the rotation now. At least maybe in the future video, in some future videos we'll talk about it. Yeah, so I'm going to click on store, which will create the secrets. Not now because I already have that password. So if I refresh, yeah, there it is. So now we have to this is the very page that is explaining about setting up RDS proxy. In here we have to set up IAM and access management policies for the RDS. So for that we have to create a role, and we will do that just now. So we'll switch to IAM, and we will go to a role, and we are going to create a role and custom trust policy. Yeah, and we are going to switch to this documentation and choose this one. Yeah, it is exactly the same, right? Statement 1, allow principal. Yeah, principal is there. So we are going to just going to copy this and paste this here, and click on next, and we will just click on next to create create the role. So it will be what we call RDS proxy role, create role. Create role, RTS proxy role, right? Now that we have created the role, let's go ahead and add an inline policy. So here we are going to copy this one. So I'll tell you what exactly this is actually doing. So we would need to have permission for the proxy in order to retrieve the user secrets from the secrets manager. And this is nothing but just that. So here we should be having the ARN of the secret. So if we switch back to the secrets manager, if we click on this, and we can copy the secret ARN, we can paste this ARN here. Now we can go to the KMS, because it also encrypts the secret using AWS KMS. It has the default encryption mechanism is from KMS. So Key Management Service, AWS Managed Keys, we have used the AWS Secret Manager here. We can click on it, and we can copy the ARN of AWS Secrets Manager. Now we are going to paste this here, and because my region is Mumbai, it is AP South 1, so we have to change that here. AP South 1, and we are going to copy this, and we are going to switch to the IAM and paste this JSON and review policy. Yeah, and we are going to create policy. Yeah, RDS Secrets Policy, RDS Proxy. Right. So that is that. So the role thing we have done. Now let's go ahead and create the RDS proxy. So for that, let's close all of this. Right. Before going and creating the RDS proxy, let's create the security group for the RDS proxy. RDS proxy, same VPC. Yeah, here we should be allowing Postgres communication from the, first of all we have to allow the, yeah, obviously we will be logging into the EC2 instance and then we will be connecting to the RDS proxy, so EC2 security group has to be allowed. So here it should be EC2 security group, and then we should be having this. Okay, now this is the only thing that we need to add here. Yeah, RTS proxy. Now just think like this. First we have this RD EC2 instance, then we have this proxy, then we have this RDS. So the communication will be from left to right. So EC2 proxy security group that we just created has a rule to allow the EC2 traffic by adding the EC2 security group. The same thing has to be there for RDS. So RDS's security group should be allowing the traffic from proxy. So how do we do that? We'll go to the security group, we'll go to the RDS, and we'll edit the inbound group, and we'll add a rule. We are going to choose the Postgres here. We are going to say that we're going to allow RDS proxy, allow RTS Proxy. Yeah, it is for this security group is actually the security group of RDS. So RDS should be allowing the traffic from the proxy, right? Because it is proxy is in the left, and it is going to, the traffic will be going from left to right. So the RDS's inbound rule should be allowing proxies, RDS proxy security group. Yeah, that's what we did. RDS proxy, right? Save rules. Sorry. And now because the security group is all good, we have the required settings for the security group. Now we can go to the RDS and create the proxy. We have 1 DB instance here, and we can go to the proxies. We can create a proxy. It is PostgreSQL. It is Postgres proxy. Database should be the default one. Yeah, this is what we want to connect through the proxy. we don't have to create a new role. We already have created the role, RDS proxy role. Secrets, we already have created the secret, so we are going to use just that. We are not going to allow the IAM authentication for now. And the subnets, it has selected all the subnets of the VPC. This is fine. Security group, yeah, we have already created the security group for the proxy, that is RDS proxy, so we are going to just choose that one. Now we are going to create the proxy sorry, which will be taking around 20 minutes to complete and available. So I'll just pause the video for now and come back once this is done, and then we'll continue. Hello, now the proxy is actually created. Let's go ahead and try to connect to the proxy. So we are going to check the details page of the proxy. Now here you can see the proxy endpoints, and it is showing available. And yeah, so let's go ahead and try to connect this. So yeah, clear. Yeah, now we are inside of the siege instance. Now let's do a telnet to make sure the ports are open. 5432. Yeah, this means connected, and escape character is this one. So it says it is connected, so it is actually accepting the connections. So our security group settings are correct. We have added the EC2 instances security group in the inbound list of security group of the proxy. So that means it is now connecting. Now we can connect to the proxy by providing this PSQL command, PSQL-H. We are going to choose the proxy endpoint. Then we are going to choose the username as proxy Postgres, and we have to provide the database, otherwise it will try to connect to the, if we don't give any database while connecting, then it will try to use a database that is with the same name of the user. So I copied this and I'm going to paste this in. PSQL. Yeah, it is asking for password, so we have to provide the same password. This is the password that we have used to create the Postgres user/role, and this is the same password that we have used to create the AWS Secrets Manager secret. Okay, so I'm going to paste this in. Now we are in the ESS online database that we have created. Right, so if we do an L, wait a minute, I think I had the wrong one. I should be using the school DB. Yeah, here it should be the school DB, so it should be school_DB. Yeah, password is the same password. Wait a minute, what happened? Let us try to connect to the RDS instance now. Postgres. Password was the same one, and -L. Postgres school DB. Yeah, it's a school DB. -Q. Yeah, now we should be trying to, yeah, password got expired. Have to log in again. It's asking for the MFA code 436191. Right. So proxies, Postgres proxy. Right. Now we can try connecting again. PSQL-H, then the user. Yeah, it's capital U, and it's the password. It's a proxy Postgres is the username. Sorry, there should be a space in between. And this should be the password. Okay, wait a minute. We forgot the database name. School DB. It should be the school DB. Yeah, right. /tt. Did not find any relations. Yes. Now we have connected successfully to the proxy. The database is the database that we have created here, and now we can just try and create a new table. Right, we have created the table, and we will insert something. Select star from names. Yeah, there you go. So now we have successfully connected the proxy. Yeah, this is the proxy because this is a proxy endpoint. This is not the RDS endpoint, and we are providing the username that we have created in the Secrets Manager, and also we ran the same query to create the Postgres role in the main Postgres terminal. So effectively this is it. This is how you create a Postgres proxy in RDS, which is connected to an RDS Postgres instance -Q. Yeah. So when you have all these connected and correctly set up correctly, this proxy endpoint would obviously be available, and also the target groups will also be available because we have the correct security groups configured. Right, so that's it. Now we can just do a cleanup. We can go ahead and delete our resources so that it is not going to cost any money for us. Now I'm going to delete the proxy. Delete me. Now I'm going to delete. Yeah, we have to modify this because the delete on protection was enabled. Why it is taking so long to load? I don't know. Yeah, delete protection. I'm disabling it. Apply immediately. And now we can delete this one. Delete me. I'm not going to retain any backup, so yeah, I acknowledge that I'm going to delete this and it's not going to save anything, so it's all good. So now proxy is deleting, and database is deleting. Now we have what we have is Secrets Manager. Yeah, it is not costly as the other resources, but it's still going to cost you maybe 40 cents, I believe, per month. Delete secret 7. Yeah, waiting. There is a waiting period. It will wait to get deleted, but yeah, that's okay. Now we have to go to the EC2 instance, EC2 service. Going to close this instance running. I'm going to terminate this instance. Right. So yeah, I'll just leave the security groups as it is, maybe clean up later when I have time. So that's it. This is how you set up an RDS proxy connected to an RDS instance and for the Postgres engine. Hope you find this video useful. If you liked it, please like and subscribe the channel to have more updates. Thank you.